truth.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Cider Visuals here, back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to create a 3D text image in Affinity Designer. Now, if you guys have watched my old content, you guys will see that I was really into gaming and all that other fun stuff, but visual arts has become a career to me, and not only just a career, also a hobby. So I thought, what's more fun than making a YouTube tutorial in Affinity Designer? So let's get started. In the first step, you're just gonna wanna go over to File, you're gonna press New, or you can press Control N, and you're just gonna pick your width and your height. In this case, I'm gonna do 800 pixels, as that would probably be the best size for me for whatever I'm doing. Next, you are going to pick your font. In this video, I'm going to be using Eris, and if you guys want to follow along, that's totally okay. But you can use any font you like. Any of these fonts would work. Next thing you're going to do is you're just going to make a 2D text layer. So in this case, I'm just going to type text, but whatever word you would use is right where you'd put this. And there we go, just a little 2D layer like that, nothing 3D about it. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a background. Now this is completely optional, you don't have to do this. This doesn't affect the final product or any of that. I just want a little background so you guys can see what I'm doing. So this is what I consider step 2. So next, you are just going to duplicate this layer right here, this 2D layer, and that's actually how we're going to turn it into a 3D text layer, is we are just going to duplicate the text a bunch of times. So I'll show you how that's done. You can either right click on your text layer and press duplicate, or in this case you can press Control J or Command J, kind of depends if you're on Windows or Mac. Now this layer was technically your first layer, so we're just going to move that back up there. It's not necessary, but it does help. Then you're just going to go ahead and click this layer and use your right arrow key and your down arrow key to just move this just like that. Just one click on each of them, then you're going to press Control J and repeat the process. After you've duplicated your layers, you're just going to select all of them. Make sure you're only selecting the second layer all the way down to your bottom text layer, otherwise this isn't going to turn out properly. After you've selected all of these, you're just going to press Control G or Command G, or you can just go in here and press Group. Now, step 4 is a very important part. This is where I like to pick my colors before I go any further, before I do anything else. So I think a good color for this tutorial is going to be a blue. And make sure when you are picking your colors, you pick a little bit of a lighter color. Now, this color doesn't have to be like neon yellow. You know what I mean? But it has to be bright enough where you can make the color behind it in your 3D layer a little bit brighter. So in this case, I'm just gonna pick a nice cyan blue, and we're gonna come up here and just make a gradient that goes light to dark. So as you can see, we got that little gradient going there. It kind of goes light down to a darker blue. And then all we have to do is come to this group, and we're also going to apply a gradient to this one. Now, the gradient on this layer back here in layer 2, which is your 3D layer, should be a little bit darker. So what I like to do is just kind of select the color and darken it a little bit. Now, this is going to make this like pop out a lot more. This is what's going to make it feel like it's actually 3D. And this is important because you are trying to get a 3D layer. Now make sure you're matching everything up to your original 2D layer gradient. In this case, I did a lighter blue. So as you can see right here, there's 2 lighter blues going down into 2 darker blues. Now what this does is it gives you an effect looking like this. So you have that brighter layer on top with the darker layer behind it. This is basically what Photoshop does when it makes 3D layers. There's just a lot more math that goes into it. Something I like to do after picking our colors is I like to just go into our layer effects and I will just do a small inner glow. Now you can do a white inner glow. It looks good, of course, but I kind of like to match up my colors. It's kind of personal preference, but you can definitely do this. And you just want to get it a little bit brighter. So maybe something like that. As you can see, you got that glow in the edges there. It's gonna make that pop even more. It's gonna make it look shiny. It's gonna make it look very nice. It's gonna stand out. Now, something nobody ever covered in their tutorials is when you're using fonts with these sharp angles, you're gonna get all these little like nicks and divots across literally every like text. Like each letter is gonna have these errors in it. And one thing I've never seen a tutorial cover on YouTube is how to actually fix these errors, because it can get complicated. You know, you don't want to match up a gradient to this color perfectly when this color is constantly changing. So what is the easiest workaround for that? Well, you're just going to go into your 3D layer, and I'm going to name this 3D and this one 2D, so it's a little bit easier to distinguish between the two of them. And then you're just going to go into your 3D layer and press text. Now what you're actually going to do is go up to your pen tool, or you can press P, and you're just going to click right there, go up here, and come down and reconnect it. Now you do not want to have your stroke on. Your stroke's going to make it look weird. It's going to make it overlap. So you're just going to make that transparent, and you can fill this with any color. As you can see, I just used red and it turned up blue. The reason why this happens is because this layer right here has a gradient on it. So this whole group has a consistent gradient on it, which adds that effect. So it literally doesn't matter what color I use. As you can see, this is red, but it turns out blue. It follows the exact same gradient, goes up just like that. You can really use any color you want. It doesn't matter, it'll stay blue. And then the next thing you're gonna do is you're just gonna go across all of your fonts and your letters. And you're just gonna do the same thing. You're just gonna fill in all those little errors. And it's kind of time consuming, it can be tedious, but it's definitely worth it if you're trying to get a nice product. And there we go. And just like that, if we zoom in here, now you can see all these edges are sharp where they weren't before. And it gives you this beautiful 3D effect. And that's exactly what we wanted. So if you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you're new here, and if you did have an issue with this video, feel free to comment down below and I guess explain to me what I could have done better. That's all for this video, guys. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.